Hey, what is happening, my Body Shop friends? I had a question from Tammy Albright. She wanted to know, how do we find a good marketing person? And we've had this question from other people, so I wanted to get it out there and see if this can help you. One of the fundamentals, matter of fact, I'll tell you a story. One of the things that happened to me with our shops, back in September of 2010, we were cranking away. We had 8 stores, filled to the brim. We were maxed out. We were loving life. And I got what I call the DRP sucker punch, right? So I see my phone ringing, I pick up the phone, and it's this guy, Keith, out of Southern Ontario from head office. And he's like, hey, Ryan, I just wanted to reach out and give you a courtesy call. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what's happening? He's like, well, I just want to let you know things have changed. We're going to go with a national provider. So we're going to turn all of your stores off at the end of the month. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's nothing that you did. I'm like, are you sure? Because it seems like you hate me right now, right? And he's like, no, it's just that we decided to go in a different direction. We want to let you know, give you as much notice as we could. Less than 30 days, guys, 28% of all of my work for the shops was about to be shut off. And so I panicked. My knee-jerk reaction was to go out, and I went and looked for a marketing agency. I'm like, look, I want to get somebody who can make up the difference of about 30% of our business. So I went out, hired one of the best marketing firms in the country, and we set out on this journey. And unfortunately, it was like burning cash. It was a giant bonfire. We were spending $100,000 a month on radio, TV, print, social media. We were trying all these different channels. And really, it was like burning cash. We saw very little return for the money that we were investing. And at one time, they even came to me and they're like, hey, we're kind of concerned we're not seeing a better return. And I'm like, you're concerned? I'm concerned, right? So one of the things we ended up doing is we actually stopped doing the ad spend and we turned around and we went to an agent that helped us study the collision industry. So I hired a team of behavioral scientists, some analysts, and they literally went in and surveyed and looked at the industry to find out, why is a collision customer so different than other industries? What's the difference, right? And they came back to me with this big 5,000 page document. And a friend of mine's like, Ryan, if you want to impress people, make it really complicated. Like, give these people a 5,000 page document. Or if you want to actually help somebody, just make it really, really simple. And so if I boil this down, there's only 2 things that you need to know, right? There's 2 things you need to know. And really, there's only 2 product classes out there. 95% of marketers, just like the team that I hired, 95% of marketers are focused on one product class. And only about 5% of marketers out there truly understand the delineation or the difference between the 2. So let's get into the 2 product classes, how they affect you in the collision business. The first thing you need to look at, there we go. The first thing you need to look at, what is called an impulse purchase, an impulse buy. So this is product class number 1. This is where 95% of the marketers are focusing their attention. So for those of you who work in a dealership, or for those of you who are affiliated with dealerships, they're really good at selling cars, but they probably hate marketing your body shop because they don't see the ROAS, or the return on ad spend. And so from there, what we want to look at is, why is that different? So they can sell a car, they can create interest, they can get people excited about the new version of the vehicle that's coming out. Think about people buying a new iPhone, or a sofa, a couch, or a watch, something along these lines, furniture, right? People get excited about this kind of thing. But the reality is there's a very different motivation than where we are. This is a want purchase. To boil it down, it's a want purchase. People have a high degree of purchase motivation. They're going to go out of their way to study this. They're going to go online, they're going to investigate, they're going to look at it. They probably have pictures of their new vehicle posted up on their fridge or something, right? So this is something people want. Now, that's product class number 1. Product class number 2 is what is called a distress purchase. So it could be something like, this morning you wake up and your house is flooded, right? And you're like, okay, I need to find a flood restoration company. Guys, this is a very different buying methodology, very different buying mind frame, isn't it? They're coming from a distress thing. It's not something they want. Another thing could be like a doctor. Hey, you've got that rare Canadian polar bear disease, or whatever it might be, right? That's something that, wow, you know what? Now I've got to do something that's traumatic, that's distressing me. They have a very different buying mind frame. Same thing with an accident. When a customer gets in an accident, they have a very different buying mind frame. Think about this. Did you wake up this morning and start researching flood restoration companies just in case your house was going to flood? Probably not, right? Probably not. And so that's the very big difference, is we can't create an interest. We can't create demand. There is 0 degree of purchase motivation for this product. Now, when your marketing team, when they know this inherently, they are going to approach your marketplace in a very different method than what somebody that only understands an impulse buy, right? That's very different. So only 5% of marketers truly understand a distressed purchase, how to get to the customer at the right time, how to deliver the right message that has the right tonality, right? Because that person's angry, frustrated, hurt, whatever that might be. Okay, does that make sense? So make sure that your marketing people, when you're talking to them, make sure they understand that you're in a distressed purchase kind of a deal. And that's going to go a long ways to help you. So just to recap this, guys, an impulse buy is like where you see at the Apple store where people are lined up for a mile, right? Waiting for the new product. There's a high degree of purchase motivation, right? On the other end of the spectrum is the collision world, right? And this is where people are distressed. They maybe never had an accident, or it's been 7 years since they've had an accident. They might be hurt. They might be confused. They don't know what to do next. Those are the things that your marketing person should understand at their very fundamental, at the core, and leverage that in all of their marketing messages. See, nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "Sweetheart, I can't wait to get T-boned today." Nobody says that, right? So we want to make sure that your marketing people know how to address those people, make sure that our message resonates, and more importantly, that they see you as their guide to solve this problem. Guys, I hope you found this helpful. If you want more information, if you want to find out about some technology that can help support this, one of the things that Body Shop Booster does is it delivers technology to amplify your marketing. So check it out down below. If you want to have a product demo, book one of those with one of our representatives. They'd be happy to take you through some ideas that can help amplify your marketing. Guys, we'll talk again real soon. Thanks for being on this.